the divine and feel confident and safe and just good. In other words, if you ask me what I do, I share insight that makes you feel good. All right, that said, I believe we have Chrissy on the line. Did I see Wisconsin or was I daydreaming?
No, it's not Wisconsin. It's in Missouri.
Missouri. How did I get Wisconsin out of that? I must be up in the ethers floating around a little bit. It's so sorry.
That's all right.
How are you this evening? How are you this evening, Chrissy?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm great. Was there a particular question that you had, or did you want me just to share? Where would you like me to go this evening?
Yeah, just nothing in particular. Yeah, just share.
Okay. You're saying nothing in particular, but for some reason I feel like there's something connected to work, business, finances, just in general, what that's going to feel like or look like as of 2025. And what pops up for me right away is not this year, but last year, so 2023, I get that there was I'll call it a shift in circumstance, a shift in how you interacted with your world. And it feels like this year was perhaps a little more trying than you anticipated. 25, there is another shift, but it's not right off the bat. It actually feels like it's roughly middle of the year. I'm going to say end of May, June, July. So between end of May and end of July, I get this nice little shift coming up where you're able to just go, okay, this is more like it. Like tapping back into your power and being able to actually reap the types of rewards you want from the world at large when it comes to financially, when it comes to things having to do with work. Like keep in mind, when I use the word work, it doesn't even mean that you have to be working for someone. Oftentimes we put an idea out there and we work on it. And to see it come to fruition, that is our work. And I bring this up because it feels to me as if there is this passion that you have to accomplish something that is bigger than, let's say, working to make money. And I feel like 2025, again, middle of the year, that's going to come to the surface where you'll find that there's more comfort in being able to seek that out. You'll find that others are supporting you in that. That makes sense to you?
Okay. Absolutely.
Okay. Real quick, totally different thing, but I'm hearing allergies. So I simply want to say, be aware of hydration. And most people say, oh, but I drink a lot of water. Just because you drink a lot of water doesn't always mean that your cells are getting the level of hydration they need. So be mindful of the type of water that you are drinking. If you're drinking bottled, do a little research, find out what's the best bottle. If you're using a filter on your sink, find out what is the best. Because I just feel like the quality, if you will, of the water that you're drinking could be knocked up a notch, which could be very beneficial. And I keep seeing a little dog. Different, I'm just kind of rolling with whatever pops in, but I keep seeing a little dog. And I'm trying to identify if this is in spirit or if this is in the house. The dog reminds me. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I was going to say I've been looking into getting a small dog.
Okay. The dog then that I feel like you'll find, because then what shows up in my head, funny enough, is if you've seen The Wizard of Oz, you've probably seen Toto, Dorothy's little dog. That's what keeps showing up in my head. So I'm not getting like a Great Dane. I'm getting a little, I'll say, compact dog. It's not itty bitty that it fits in your hand, but I do feel it's on the smaller side that I feel like you will fall in love with, because I just keep seeing again, little dog around you. Okay. The other thing too is being a little bit, I'll say, easier on you. Between now and January, I feel like you've put a lot of pressure on yourself to get a lot done in a very short period of time. Kind of recognize what you are accomplishing because others are. You know the saying about how others see us differently than we see ourselves?
100%.
Okay. Perhaps you're going to laugh, but perhaps come up with an idea of what your best friend would say to you when you are not being kind to you. That might make it easier for you to see yourself through others' eyes.
Okay.
Because I feel like you should be applauded, especially I heard very loud in my head 2019. I'm not clear on what took place in 2019, but it feels like you should have been applauded for what you did for the year, how you showed up. And it's almost a sense of like, oh, I just did that because that's what I do, versus recognizing your talents. And that takes me back to what I was saying about 2025, where this opportunity to really shine shows up. And it's more a matter of you embracing it than it showing up, because it feels like it's a guarantee of it showing up. It's more about, are you able to accept what is showing up for you so that you can really enjoy it? And if this sounds like talk that's just kind of going around, you'll forgive me. There are moments where I get, if you will, pieces of information that I deliver that make much more sense in the moment when it happens than beforehand. So this is more predictive than it is in this moment. That makes sense, I hope?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And the name Gary popped up. Go ahead, hon. The name Gary, Gary?
Not that I know of.
Okay. Keep it in the back of your head. I get good influence, and it could be even Gerhard or Gerhardt, like a German name. So Gary, Gerhardt, something like that, I feel like will show up in your world. I should say that name will show up in your world. It will be a person, though. Okay, you had a bit of a question or something that you were about to say?
Yes, I was wanting to know if anybody that has passed on has come through.
Okay. I'm not specifically a medium. I get senses of things periodically with people, but in this moment, the only thing that is coming up for me is a male influence around you from the other side. But I'm not getting a clear sense other than male, and I feel like they left this world too early. Okay. But I thank you so much for calling, and I wish you a very happy new year.
Thank you. You too.
My pleasure. Bye-bye. All right. I think we have a young lady from Hawaii, if I saw that correctly. Okay. Yes. Ruby, yes? Hello. Yes. How are you? Nice to connect with you this evening.
Thank you, too.
All right. So you feel to me like you have a little bit of nervousness or trepidation about talking. I promise I don't bite. Only if you bite me first. Is there a specific area of focus you'd like me to look at for you?
Yeah. I just found out that my husband has another woman.
You want to know if your husband has, well, that explains the trepidation and nervousness. Okay. Oh boy, that's a loaded question. The overall feeling here is there is somebody else in the picture, but I get a very mixed feeling about if there's any sort of seriousness attached to it. I almost get this of it being, it's going to sound bad, but as if he's bored, not bored of you, but bored in his life, as if he thought his life was going to be at a different place in this moment, as if he was going to be more content within himself. It almost, best way to express this is, it almost feels as if like a midlife crisis. The best way I can say this, like there's that unrest, that discontent, and it's not about you. It's about where he is in his world, where he kind of believed he would be at this point in his life, and not feeling as if he fully embraced that. All that said, the overall impression here is you really need to sit down and have a conversation and do your best not. Pardon?
Am I going to lose him? Because he said they're done already, and I've spoken to the other woman every single day. That, you know, she's not going to continue, but I don't know. My husband is...
Okay, so keep this in mind again. Go ahead.
He's back, but I just want to know if, do I have to do something to win him back?
Okay, so what I said a moment back about his own discontent, my heart tells me the relationship between the two of you is not done. But I do feel that you have to have a genuine conversation with him that's not accusatory. Meaning, like, if you say to him, I know exactly what you've been doing, and I spoke to her, and that he's not going to listen. It will fall on deaf ears. The overall feel here really is for you to say to him, I want to talk to you about all the good that we have shared. I want to talk to you about what I'd like to see for our future. See if you can approach him from a different angle that's about continuing forward, and recognize the things within him that keep you wanting to stay there. Because let's be honest, knowing what you do, you could say, you know what, I don't need this, and go away. I don't feel like that's what's in your heart. I feel like there's that feeling of wanting to see you moving forward. But again, if you have a conversation that starts out with accusations, even if they are true, he's going to close down. If you start your conversation out with recognizing the good, he will be more open to hearing you. As to this other gal, he's not in love with her. I'm telling you, it has more to do with being restless, more to do with the discontent or boredom within himself. That you can't fix, but you can direct. And when I say that, as far as directing, what I mean is you can give him a different area of focus. Think about, for instance, what is the best time that you've ever had together? Actually write it down, refresh your own memory. And when you sit down to talk with him, say, you know what I was thinking about today? And tell him about that time. Invite him in to remembering those good feelings. Invite him in to reconnecting with you. Not to immediately having a reconnection where it's perfect, but opening that door for him to start taking a look at what he has, what he's able to cherish if he is aware of it. And I know that sounds like an oxymoron, that he's not aware of it and all of a sudden he has to be reminded, but the truth is he's not focusing his attention there in this moment. And you want to bring it back around. So I'm going to just reiterate, say it's important to focus on how you can show him that there's still a link between you.
Okay.
Did you have a question there about that?
But we're not going to divorce, yeah?
I'm sorry, you're not what?
I don't want. We're not going in. We're not going to end up of divorce.
You're asking if you're going to end up in divorce. Okay, so the way this shows up for me, the way this feels is if you can start to do what we're talking about this evening, which is approaching the matter a little differently, you will find that he is more inclined to want to be there. Because it really comes back to his own discontent moreover, than it has to do with you. But I would say do silly little things like, what's his favorite food that you would make? Make it so that it's smelled through the house, the aroma just moves through the house. What sort of fragrance does he like? Bring that out. Try to, again, connect with him on a different level versus just what's going on and how do we fix this, and I don't want this to change, or I don't want a divorce, or step back from it, looking at it that way, and look at it from the regard of, okay, where were we connected? How did it feel before he became restless? Look at it that way. As to this other person, again, I'm going to tell you, I don't get him in love with her. I get this just as a distraction, for lack of a better way to put this. You know, sometimes we don't want to look within, and so we look for something outside.
Yeah, because the lady is receiving allowance from my husband every 2 weeks. And her friend told me that it's because her husband is not giving him, the husband is not giving her money at all from the husband. That's why when my husband started to offering allowance, then she got spoken to my husband.
So if I understood that correctly, your husband has offered her an allowance to help her because her husband is giving her. Is that correct?
Correct. Yes.
Okay. So with that, you could actually approach him and say, I know you're doing a very kind thing by helping her with an allowance. Can we take a look at how that has an impact on our home, on us? And I know there's been mention of, but it's done. It's only done from the sense of he doesn't want to engage about it. So on one hand, I'm telling you, look at how do you reconnect with those good things? How do you bring forth those good memories? A sense interactions that are reminiscent of something that you did experience with him. And then on the other hand, I'm saying, ask about the home and the finances. But I'm saying that in the sense of he's very practical when it comes to money. And you might address it from the regard of, are you confident that helping her the way that you are is not going to take money? And phrase it this way, actually. Are you confident that the way you're helping her isn't going to take money away from you and your well-being?
Yeah.
Do you follow? Tweak it a little bit. So that, again, it's not accusatory, because I keep getting, he's a very proud individual. And if he's accused, and again, doesn't matter if there's relevance there or not, just the accusation will have him shut down. You want to try to keep the communication as open as you possibly can. And the best way that I can suggest that truly is creating that goodness within your space. There's so many things, little things that you can do that he could walk into the room and be reminded of something sweet. Perhaps you open up a photo album to some old photos of times that you were having so much fun, and you just have it on the table next to a cup of coffee. Things like that, where it's not, hey, I'm putting this in your face and you need to go back here, but it's more like, I remember those times. Do you remember when? Create conversations that actually pull the two of you together. And again, food, scent, think in terms of sensory perception. So you're looking at anything that would be reminiscent for him of something good between the two of you. Perhaps the two of you got a cat together. So bring up the cat. You see what I mean? Bring in anything that has to do with, again, the togetherness of the two of you, your interactions, and the good that's connected to it, without doing it, let's say, every single day of every minute. You want to do this in a way that it's subtle, but it's effective. And you can ask him, you start to see things soften a little bit. You could ask him, what is it that I might be able to do to make you feel happier or to make you feel more content? Use the word that works best for you, but it's kind of opening the door to, I want to work with you as a partner without actually saying those words. You follow?
Yeah.
Okay. So bottom line, when you ask, is this happening? And if I were to say absolutely yes or absolutely no, my feeling right now is no. But that doesn't mean that there's not some upheaval between now and then. I do feel strongly that if you're able to pivot a little bit how you interact with him, that you can start again opening doors, as I mentioned. And the other thing too is you have to be in a place where you are not only loving, but lovable. And what I mean by that is you have to love you a little bit, because what I'm sensing here right now is feeling as if you are unloved, but at a level where you are not recognizing your own good. You know, when's the last time you looked in the mirror, honey, and you said, you know, you're pretty, or your eyes look great today? I'm sorry, I'm not trying to get you upset. The one thing that I know with absolute certainty is when we exude love for ourselves, not just for the people in our lives, we create more love in our life. When we don't see ourselves in a loving way, when we're tough on ourselves, and not just tough because we're expecting ourselves to do something, but tough as in we are not liking ourselves, then what we do is we interrupt that lovely little flow of love that is supposed to be coming consistently. So with the things that I suggested about your husband, also think about for you. When did you see yourself in a better light? Think about things that you have accomplished, or that when somebody said, oh my gosh, you look really great today, or wow, you're so pretty when. Think about those things for yourself. They will lift your vibration. When you lift your vibration, you bring things into alignment better. You can do this.
Can I?
Pardon?
I would love to. Is my dad here? He passed away 8 years ago, December 4. Is there any chance that I can, if he wants to tell me something?
As far as your dad?
Yeah.
The biggest thing that comes through, and it's an odd sentence, but it feels like what I'm feeling is you know better, meaning you're more empowered than you think you are. But the words that I keep hearing are, you know better. So to me, this would mean that he sees you as somebody who's very capable of doing the things that we're talking about. Do something for yourself this evening. If you have a white candle in the house, light the white candle. And when you light it, do a little prayer, whatever prayer is comfortable in your faith. And then ask for your dad to help guide you through this tough time. And he will.
Okay.
Again, please know you will be okay no matter what. I know it's difficult, but things will shift. And you do have control in this moment. Thank you for calling. I truly wish you the best, hon. Try lighting.
Can I one more time? Can the other woman not gonna insist he herself to my husband? Because she said,
I'm sorry, I didn't catch that. Something about the other woman, and I just have a moment here. Does she see herself with your husband? Was that the question?
Yeah.
I don't get her in love with him any more than he's not in love with her. So,
okay.
No.
Thank you.
please work on the things that we talked about.
Thank you. Thank you. I really appreciate it.
Okay.
Have a happy holiday.
You too. A general rule of thumb for all of us truly is we have to be good to us. I don't know why that's so difficult. We always look outside.
To A1R Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV and Lightning Television. Welcome. Time for Eleanor Gray's Psychic Destiny with Eleanor Gray. Eleanor Gray. Live from GraceDestiny.com. Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/psychic radio. Or one of our websites, askoneradio.com or moonstruck.tv. This is Eleanor Gray's Psychic Destiny on A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
Hello, hi there, how are you? And welcome to Eleanor Grace. This is my Psychic Destiny show with the planets all around us. And we're in December, aren't we? And we're getting ready now for a wonderful holiday season. So I hope that you're all really waiting now to connect with me. I'm using cards here. I've got my tarot cards. These are my teaching cards. Can you see them? Let me just put them in the middle there, and then you can see some of the different cards that I'll be using. We have the Judgment card. We have the Star card as well. Wheel of Fortune is here. So this one is a fabulous card to really bring in some different energies into your life, and perhaps that's what you need at this particular time. And then we have, oh, well, look at this one. This is probably one of the most well-used cards that there is. This is the card of the Lovers. So the Lovers really does bring in promise of relationships and being in love and being held and adored, accepted and attractive as well. We've got to have that. We've got to have the levels of attraction. This is the Sun card here. Happiness for everybody. That's what we're hoping for. And a happy Christmas time. And it looks as though things are getting settled a little bit more in the world, doesn't it? World peace. This is what we're really asking for. Now, we do have the Star card here. I feel that the Star card is very, very much about aspiration. You know, some of your ambitions and letting everything just sort of fall into the right place. Now, the last card that I'm showing here, well, this one is the card of the Moon. The Moon is always about some reflections, perhaps, that, you know, are necessary in our lives so that we can look back and we can discover perhaps where we went wrong, where we've got to look for major improvements as well, and how we can see the direction of travel that we're in. And this is really an appropriate time to be setting goals so that we can manifest some of our dreams and really set out a target going forward for our future, and how we can really reassess who is important to us, who we love the most, and of course, don't forget those loved ones in spirit. Now, I brought my candle here. I hope that you can all see that here. It's a lovely candle flame, and we'll be using the candle to make some wishes and to allow for those messages from spirit to come through. And I always like to light a candle here, just as we're going into the Christmas period, because we all have those loved ones that we want to make contact with again, if we can. And if there are messages, then those messages will come through and they will be with us. So let's just see if we can raise the elements here and see if we can just pop that candle flame into view. So here we have it. Now, spirit will always go to the light. That's what we know. We know from having seen some images of ghosts, perhaps. Have you seen a ghost? Have you ever come across a ghost? Not like the ones on TV, but just having a whisper of a presence that is there in our room, in our hearts, in our dreams, in a mirror. Often we get a reflection in a mirror. And I've seen many ghosts over my lifetime so far. And they come in strange sort of sizes and shapes and formats, if you want, sort of different formulas. Sometimes I will look at a particular vision and be next to someone or connect to someone. Energy, electrical energy is what I use. So it does mean that I can connect throughout the world, throughout all of those phone lines, video lines, whatever it is that connects us all. I can use that energy to bring in some loved ones past, some messages about your future, and to see forward, to have a look and see what is ahead in your life. So today we're holding out a candle to those loved ones in spirit, and we'll see who comes into my spirit room. Once I open up my room, then everybody piles in, and I have to look to see who is most important and who is the person that is connecting to that particular spirit today. So when we have our callers come through, I will be looking for signals and signposts and little details and universal images so that I can see who is there and who wants to come forward with a message. I will also use my crystal ball here. This is one for prosperity. It is a very powerful crystal, and this one is full of citrine, which is all about money, luck, and making plans, really, for the new year. And that's what we all want. We all want to make plans now. This is the time to set your goals, beginning of December, before we get into the holiday period and lots of celebrations. So that's where we're going to next. And don't forget to do that, because we have all the planets here. So they're surrounding our planet Earth, and they're bringing in all sorts of different energies. And we need to use those and harness them in order to be able to project all of our wishes and dreams forward. And we do that using cosmic orders and magic wishes. And I will be showing you how to do those, not just in this program, but also on YouTube, where you can find me on Eleanor Grace Psychic. You can also see me on TikTok as well, Eleanor Grace Psychic. Also, you'll find me on Eleanor Grace Destiny, and you'll find me on my website, gracedestiny.com. And lots of you have contacted me for our email readings, which are fabulous, because you can have those within 2 to 3 days, and it's a very, very nice way of keeping a record. So I think I have Tracy from New York here on the line. Hello there, Tracy. You're through to Eleanor Grace. Welcome, welcome to my show here. How are you?
Good. How are you doing today?
Oh, yeah, not bad at all. I think a couple of weeks ago had quite a bad throat. Lots of it going around, but the UK is full of that. It always is. This time of year, we can't do anything about it. All right, then. Tracy, let me see what is around you. Do you know, Tracy, I'm looking here at my third eye, but I keep pointed to my forehead. My third eye here is connecting through to you. And I'm seeing you, Tracy, as a person who wants change. You want to go into, I suppose it's a new format, a new dream, a new hope, a new rainbow. I do see rainbows in your future, so they're in your horizon. So if you're sitting on a bench and you're looking out to sea, you've got this lovely sand in front of you, and then you've got the sea as well, and then you've got the horizon. On your horizon, that's where the rainbows are. That's where I can see them. So this is about your dreams, your goals, and having established exactly what you want to achieve. This is the time that you're going to do exactly that. So achievement is with you. You actually have the star card, which I've been showing to everybody. This is about ambition. It is about you taking a lunge forward in your life now and being able to make some quite dramatic changes. The star is all about aspiration as well, asserting yourself, being able to show the world exactly what you have, who you are, how you intend to use your skills and your experience for the greater good. And that's what you'll be doing. There's charitable enterprises around you as well. So you do help a lot of other people as well, Tracy. I think you get involved quite a lot in community and you're bringing people towards you. So you're popular. And I think that's going to really persist during this month and also going into 2025. So Tracy, you have a lot of friends around you. You have people all around you. You have spirit all around you as well. And that's where I'm going to now. There's either a Bert or a Ben, or it could be an Albert, because I'm getting that name being shouted out. Bert, it's there all the time. But it's also Al as well. So do those names ring any bells to you? Are you aware of any of those names in your life or in spirit? Can you tell me, Tracy?
No, Al. Or Bert. My mom used to say Gert.
Hello. Right, Tracy, we are back. And I think we lost a connection or lost a communication. So I was asking you where Bert or Ben is, and there's an Al as well. Do you recognize those names, Tracy?
No. No.
Okay, they're not for you then. All right, perhaps that's why we cut off. It's just as though Spirit had come into my room, and there we were, and suddenly you disappeared. Not to worry. Let's see what is next.
Okay.
Tracy, do you understand what I've said to you about you actually now going into this period of change that is all around you? Do you see what that is about?
What kind of change do you see? What kind of change is it? Change?
Well, certainly you're going into the community, so you're able to establish yourself around friendships that are near to you. And also you will be changing your environment as well. So you're likely to be moving here and moving into new situations and circumstances around you. But not just that, you will be looking at how you're changing your activities. So I think work-related changes are very positive here for you and are likely to be bringing in some extra prosperity and some extra status. So it's heightened status that I see for you. Now, emotionally, I think you're the one in charge. Yeah.
Should I go with a job that I have now, or should I go with the one that is being presented to me that's
Have you been offered a role? Because these are the likely changes that are around you, but it's up to you to accept. I mean, you have free will here, and I think that you will be going forward into a situation where you have choices, real choices that are around you. And that's something that you need to consider for yourself, and something as well that you really do need to be able to see on a sort of much wider platform than perhaps you're looking at the moment, because right now everything is sort of quite still. I do have spirit as well. There is this man here. Maybe he's shouting out a name for you so that you can look out for this big initial of B that I can see here on your horizon. And also the rainbows are here. Now, they really do represent prosperity for you as well, Tracy. So you are likely to be encountering more money, a bit more luck, higher status in your job, and you being able to show off a bit. I can see you strutting about and being able to be presenting yourself to the world in a different way, on a different level entirely. A different space is around you, and you will feel really, quite happy about that as well. The Lovers is here. So choices are there for you. Lovers will bring in choices. Lovers will also bring in new opportunities for romance and admiration and soulmates. So it doesn't necessarily mean that you've got to launch into a brand new relationship. That's not what this is about. It is about capturing the love and the regard and the respect of those around you who really do share that sense of love for you. So your situation emotionally is also changing. Do you feel as though you're in love at the moment? Because I feel that there's a big boost here to your energy around feelings and emotion. So what's your circumstances right now, Tracy?
Yes, but there's also been a lot of letdown from family on that side with things that occurred with somebody passing too.
Oh, I see. So was this a man who passed over into spirit? Was it a man who died?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, because it's a man that I've had, which I've talked about all the way through, and this soul in spirit, this man who's just recently died, is shouting out this initial of B to me. So what that represents to you, I cannot tell you. All I can do is relay the message that he is bringing to you. So it is for you, Tracy, because I've checked this out a few times now. And it's the very first connection that I had to spirit when I opened my spirit room. So he's there. And we also have the candle, which is here. And this is a candle in spirit, lit for spirit. So I'm going to give you that. I'm also going to bring in this connection of holding hands and being very much, much more in love in the future. I think that there is a new connection, a new romance, a new romantic development around you. So you need to watch for that, and you need to be able as well to really sort of take control of your relationship and not allow other people to interfere or to have an opinion or, to share that with you or project it on you. You are strong. You're a strong person, a strong woman. And now it's time for you to show that. And I think that you will. I think that you're bringing all of your strength very, very much to the fore during 2025. And this, I think, is where you will be able to show a lot more patience, I suppose, with yourself. But equally, I feel that you have a greater sense of purpose. And that's what I want to give to you, Tracy. So lots of love coming to you from spirit, an increase in your status, a better role for you. So you need to keep persevering and trying. And I think a sense of respect. I think you're being well regarded, well respected a lot more in 2025 than you have felt in 2024. It's not been the best year, has it, for you? And your health, I think that's also improving. I think you've been perhaps suffering quite a lot with, a few ailments, and check that out. Don't be just passing things off and saying, oh, I'm okay. Get yourself checked out and just make sure that you continually do that. So I think that now, Tracy, you are in a position where you have a great deal to offer now to someone who I think is going to be very, very close to you. So let's just quickly look at the relationship aspect in your life. Are you in a relationship now? Because there's a breakdown here and then a reunion. There's something that has sort of dissolved that is now going to come back. Does that make sense to you?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah. So was that a parting of the ways completely, or just this sort of bumpy road that I'm seeing? It's sort of undulating road. And yet it does lead to a marvelous, marvelous resolution. So I do feel that this year is a wonderful time for you to be able to recover. But I think you've got to be honest. What is it that you feel that you need to say? What is it that you've got to be honest about? Was it that you've been let down, or was it a little bit more in depth than that for you? What was it that let you down so much? Can you say what it was that let you down so much with him?
I think just not being there when needed to stand up.
Yeah. So you wanted him to, Well, this is your totem card. It's the one of the lion. So you are actually being asked to gain some courage here. I think you've really got to speak up. You've got to say what you think and, mean what you say as well. So you need to manage your feelings and project them properly. And you also need to, I think perhaps with this card, just state what your boundaries are, what your expectations are, and put some limitations on bad behavior. Sometimes you have to almost be a little bit like a child. So that's where I've got you, being very demanding. I'm going to wish you well, Tracy, and don't forget that initial of B. It will be recognisable for you in the very near future. So thank you for coming into the show, and I hope you've enjoyed your reading. So I'm going on to Diane next, who's in California. Hello there. Hi.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good. And let's have a look at you, shall we? Let's see what is happening here around you, Diane. I know that you've been quite patient, and I also feel that there's family connections that are going to be really very strong for you in the very near future. I know we've got the holidays, we've got Christmas, we've got lots of various different activities as well that seem to be all around you. So I think that there's lots of pleasure coming your way. And I'm very pleased about that, because you need it. You need to have, more fun in your life. I think that this has been missing for some time. Let's just have a look now at the crystal ball. So I'm bringing in the citrine crystal. This is about prosperity, and you will be opening a new chapter, Diane. I've got a book here that is really looking at taking on board new beginnings. And I think also you have a strong sense of your own psychic abilities. So you will be looking at mediumship, connecting through to spirit yourself. Angels seem to be around you, with you. You're on a spiritual journey. Are you aware of this? Is this something that you are trying to do? Yeah.
Absolutely.
So are you practicing, or are you getting somewhere?
No, I have always thought I had a sixth sense,
Yeah.
And intuitive, like I can never tell what's going to happen. but I do have quite often feelings, and then something will happen.
Yeah, have the sense of everything is going forward. Okay. Well, I do feel that that's important for you. And I feel as well that this is a time that you can really start to look at your own senses and start to develop them. And that's what will happen. You will do that. And that development is going to be easy for you. I think there's lots of communication that's coming. And I feel as well that you'll be looking hard, long and hard, at how you can make sense of some of the images that you receive, but not just the images, but some of the attention that is very powerful around you, and how that attention is going to bring good fortune and is going to bring some focus onto you. So the spotlight is going to be on you and you need to be prepared. Are you launching into something new? Because it appears to me as though people are demanding of your time, your attention. You're a busy, busy person. But equally, you're stepping back and wanting to take more time for you, more time for yourself, and to have that real sense of purpose and direction. And the book is important that I'm seeing. You're turning a new page, but you're also writing here. So do make notes of your life, but also of your dreams. And I think this is where I am connecting through to those psychic senses and how you are going to be feeling really very, very important. I think that that's who you are. It's that sense of being elevated. So take some time, study, allow yourself the opportunity to heal properly, to elevate, and to be very much in focus, having the focus that you need to have as well, so that others can be very prepared, I feel, to listen to you. Do you teach other people or train other people in your job? Because this is what I'm seeing here in the crystal. The citrine crystal is showing. Okay.
It's not necessarily my title, but I do it often and daily.
Yeah. That's what I'm seeing, that other people are coming to you for advice anyway. And this is where you have to be a little bit circumspect in the way that you say things to people, because they often don't understand what you're saying. You're speaking quite clearly, but it's just the level at which you're speaking. So I am getting a lot of patience that I think is within your character, in your personality. And this is next, something that you will be able to expand upon. But training others, sharing your knowledge with others is really quite important. And that's a role which will expand during 25, 26, 27. The next 2 to 3 years ahead are really going to be impacting you on a very positive note. I think that you're elevated here. And I've said that word a lot because I feel that this is automatic. It's what's deserved. You should have been here before. So perhaps this is another opportunity, but this time it won't be missed, that it will be granted to you and you won't have to be concerned or to worry that you've missed the boat in any way, because you haven't. So that's something that you'll be looking at. I am also seeing a level of prosperity that extends to family members as well. So I've got lots of family, extended family that's here. There's a lady in spirit that's coming through. I want to go initial S here all the time. I've had this lady right from the start when we opened the show. Do you connect a lady in spirit with the initial of S? Is that something that belongs to you, Diane?
Initial S as in Sam, is that what you said?
Sam, yeah, as in Sam. Sierra.
Not that I know of, no.
Okay, well, I want you to look out for that. The initial of S is being shouted at you. This lady in spirit is here with me. She's not being that prescriptive because we're running out of time, but perhaps come back to me. We can extend and have a little look further. And have a look at the video again. Go on to Moonstruck TV, A1R Psychic Radio, and you'll be able to pick it up. Sometimes people do that, and it's surprising what you can remember after a spirit message has been given to you. And I do this all the time. So remember the initial S. Remember that you have got a very, very, very happy new year. So 2025 is good for you. Thank you for joining me on our show today. And thank you all for having a look as well at clairvoyance and mediumship, how it works in real life. And I will see you same time next week. I've been Eleanor Grace. Bye-bye now.
A1R Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV and Lightning Television. Welcome. Time for Welcome Your Woo with psychic Sarah Jane. Sarah Jane. Live from SarahJanePatton.com. Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/psychic radio. Or one of our websites, askoneradio.com or moonstruck.tv. This is Welcome Your Woo on A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
Thank you so much for tuning in to receive intuitive insights, spiritual guidance, and conversations that will open your heart and mind. Hello, beautiful listeners. Welcome to my very first episode. I'm so excited. Can you tell? Welcome Your Woo. This is Welcome Your Woo with Psychic Sarah Jane. I'm an intuitive guide, a psychic medium, a spiritual thought leader, and published author here to guide you each week with exploring your spiritual journey. And I'm so glad that you've joined me today. So whether you're here because you are just curious, because lots of us are, or you came to get a dose of inspiration, or perhaps you're simply here to learn more about the mystical world, you're in the right place. So great news for you. This is my purpose and my passion, and I'm truly just so excited to share all of this with you every Wednesday night. So what I'd really like to do right now, though, is just take a moment to just express my gratitude. So this being my first show, I just want to tell everyone tuning in today, all those that gave me the opportunity and everyone that believed in me to be here, that I have just really waited a long time to have a platform where my voice could be shared and I could help support humanity and elevate the frequency and vibration of this planet. So my excitement to be here tonight is just off the chain. Like, I'm just excited, more excited than I've ever been about anything probably in my life. So I just wanted to express my gratitude, but I will just dive right into a couple of things. So let's just talk about, what am I going to be doing here? Why am I doing this show, and what you can expect? So each week, we will explore things such as like spiritual hygiene, intuitive guidance, and psychic insights, helping us to tap into our own spiritual gifts. Did you guys know that this is my zone of genius? That helping you discover that you are also psychic? Because, newsflash, did you know everyone is psychic? It's true. It's just whether or not you've tapped into it or not. So we'll be diving into all kinds of fascinating conversations with guests who will share their own woo-woo experiences and wisdom. I also will be bringing in some really incredible people to expand us further by bringing more perspectives to the table for us to look and explore. Because listen, I truly believe that we can learn from observing others and seeing multiple perspectives of things. So that truly excites me to bring in some of those other magical people. And I promise you that every show will truly be a magical experience. So now that we've become a little acquainted, let's dive into what I want to talk about today. So before we begin, what I'd like to do is invite you all to just be with me for a moment and take a deep breath. And we're just going to center ourselves. One of the things that I really love to do anytime I'm with an audience is I like to send the planet and humanity love. So if you will join me for just a moment by placing your hands on your heart and closing your eyes, And just taking a deep breath in for a moment and imagining that your feet are planted and grounded into the earth. Imagine that they are bare, so you just feel that grass underneath your feet, and just feel your body grounding and anchoring into the planet. And imagine that there's a green emerald light that begins to stream in through the top of your head. This is the light of the heart chakra. Just feel that move through you. And now imagine that there's a magenta light moving through you. This is the high heart chakra. This is for your unconditional love for self and others. So just feel that green and magenta light. Feel those lights just moving through you. And now I want you to take that light and project it outwardly to the planet, touching every human, sending them love, helping elevate the vibration and frequency by simply sending the entire world love. And go ahead and take a deep breath in. And when you're ready, just come right back and open your eyes. So that's just something that I really love to do. It never hurts to send love to people. Everyone wants to receive and give love. So I like to just, anytime I come together with a group, just take a moment to do that. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about what you can expect with this Welcome Your Woo with Psychic Sarah Jane on Wednesday nights. So it truly is an honor to have you with me, to be here for my very first episode. And I do want to take a moment to just dive a little deeper with who I am, what I will be bringing to you each week, and not just as your host. I want you to know also that I am someone who is just like you, who has literally walked the path of awakening, growth, and I've experienced massive transformation. And I'm not someone that just talks the talk. I do walk the walk. I will walk the walk with you. So I teach through my own experiences so that I can be relatable, which helps me to gain your trust because I've been there, truly. So over the past several years, I have honed my intuitive gifts to really support my own journey, and in turn have been able to help others hone theirs too. But beyond that, my true purpose is something that goes far deeper. I truly am here to help humanity remember and embrace its divine essence, to remind you, all of you, that you were born with incredible spiritual gifts, waiting to be acknowledged, nurtured, and celebrated. And more importantly, utilize them in a way that is supportive to your overall human experience for ourselves and the entire collective. So this is very exciting as I get to share all of this with you. Whew. I'm just going to take a moment to take this in. You guys, this is a lot to take in a little bit. So I'm hosting this show because I do believe it's time for all of us to welcome our woo, to open up to our magic that surrounds us every day, that we get to actually experience and share with others, to have fun with it, to approach it with curiosity and playfulness, to be able to fully trust our intuition, to step into the fullness of who we really are. So as we raise our individual vibration, we collectively raise the vibration of this planet as well. And it becomes a ripple effect, one of love and service and truly unity, where we can all begin to truly thrive. So we are all interconnected. And as we grow spiritually, we do help one another. And and as we help, the world will evolve into something truly extraordinary. That is my hope, that's my dream, my wish for this planet, for all of us to elevate. And I know the way that we get there is through love. And I also know that humans are ready to really fully embrace all that they're capable of. So many of us have so many gifts waiting to be exposed, expanded in, and discovered, that imagine what it would be like if everyone was tapping into their intuition and using it as a way to personally guide them through all decisions they make all the time, throughout their whole life, whether it's at home, with their family, with their jobs, it doesn't matter. Your intuition will not fail you. The only time it fails you is when you don't trust it. So in this space, what I want to do is then offer you tools and insights to help you grow in your spiritual gifts. So I want to empower you that you can trust your inner wisdom. The number one thing when people ask me, Sarah Jane, how did you get here? How did you learn to really trust your gifts? This is always my answer. I had a really great teacher. And when you have a really great teacher and someone that's supporting you and that understands who walked that walk, that's where the magic is really at. It's where you truly can expand in your consciousness and thrive in a world that's deeply in need of the light that each of us carries, because we all carry this light waiting to be shined outwardly so the world can see it. So together, we will explore ways to tap into our higher frequencies, and we will be able to awaken to the truth of who we are and why we're actually here. How does that sound to everybody? I know it's a lot, but I have a lot to say, and I'm super excited to have a platform to be able to do that and share all of the wisdom and all the knowledge and information that I have been able to express outwardly now to everybody else. So I'm super excited. Let's see what I have here. It looks like we have a caller wanting to come in. So I'm going to pause for a moment. And we have a caller coming from, let's see, New York. Purvi is calling in from New York City. Hello, Purvi.
Hi, how are you?
I am fantastic. How are you? Thanks for being my very first caller on the show.
Hello. Yeah, so I'm sorry, I wasn't able to look at the lineup. I'm not sure what your specialty is, if it's tarot or medium.
That's quite okay. So I'm an intuitive guide and a psychic medium. So if you want to ask any questions, or if there's someone that you want to connect with, I can do mediumship as well. So it's really your decision. I will pull cards, but also just give the intuitive guidance. I don't do tarot. I have oracle decks.
Okay. So I guess I think I just want a general read. I have no idea what's going on. I thought I had a lot of direction, and I'm beyond confused at this point. So
are you?
Is that too general?
Yeah, a little bit. Like, can you just be a little bit more specific overall in your life, or is this perhaps just something happening, like with a relationship or something specific?
It's just that I feel like my life has been stagnant for extreme. I'm just waiting for things to happen, and nothing happens.
Okay,
and
I'm gonna go ahead.
I guess in terms of my family, the one that I grew up with, I don't have my own family. Any insights on people's mindset?
Okay, I pulled some cards for you. So let me just channel and see what the messages that are coming through for you that I have right now. So the first card that I pulled for you is called Pillar. It's called Pillar of Light. And it says, your vibration is rising. You are the oracle. So the message that I'm getting for you right now is that there's going to be people that are going to fall away in your life because they're just not raising their vibration or their frequency with you. So they might be there temporarily. They might be like relationships that are slowly kind of going away. It may be, some of them could be abrupt, but I'm just being told, like, it's okay to release them and let them go. This will create space for you to welcome in new people. Boundaries are super important as well. So being super clear in your boundaries when communicating with your family or your friends and your needs will help support you through some of the relationships that you're not necessarily feeling completely aligned with. The next card that you have is Keepers of the Earth. You are not alone. Ancient ancestors stand by your side. So this is just a reminder that you do have a spirit team here with you, waiting to support you. So at any time, Purvi, that you are feeling like you need additional support, we often forget to ask our guides, or we often forget to ask our teams, or whatever you call that thing bigger than you, God, spirit, creator, universe, source, Franklin, Nancy, I don't care what you call it, the thing that's bigger than you. call on your guides, call on your team to support you, because they won't violate your free will and they have to have permission in order to support you. So don't forget that you have that spirit team. And also, you have a really big spirit team, Purvi. So I feel like you are pretty magical, is what I'm being told. And your intuition is really spot on. So trusting that will be super important for you as well. And the last card you have is Get Grounded. Empaths, highly sensitives, connect with nature. And the message for that is just don't forget to ground your energy. That grounding is super important. When we ground, this is when we are able to have clarity and confidence with what is coming through. And that's when we can most trust our intuition, is when we're grounded. So if you're a highly sensitive empath, that's also why it's super important, because you want to make sure that you're not taking on the energy of other people. Okay. And then connecting with nature. So you can go put your feet in the bare ground to release all the negative energy, place your back on a tree and to recharge yourself, or turn around and hug the tree. Multiple ways you can do it. And if you can't actually get out of nature, you can always close your eyes and go do it through your imagination, or as I like to call it, in the quantum. So I am not sure if that answers your question fully, because it's a little like not quite direct, but hopefully that's supportive with what you're experiencing.
Mm-hmm. Anything coming up for me at all?
Like in what sense? Like the messages that I'm seeing for you right now is being super clear in your boundaries, making sure that you are taking care of yourself, so your self-care, filling your cup, giving from your overflow, and making sure that you are grounding into your energy and asking your spirit team for help.
More so, like I kind of distanced myself from my family for self-preservation. I don't know if there's been any, anything from my doing that, any effect.
The message that I'm getting for you around that is, if you feel fully aligned in the decision that you made, then you need to trust that and not worry about what anyone else thinks, because we often really get caught up in what we think they're thinking. But oftentimes what we're doing is creating a story we don't actually know. So don't create a story that's going to not serve you for your highest good. Instead, if you can, try to trust the decision that you made, and that spirit has your back, and that you're on the right track. I'm just hearing you're on the right track. Okay. And I pulled another card for you. You got Dance with Life. Do something to change your energy. So you can shift the energy by moving. And really, this is an invitation for your inner child to come out and play and let her have some fun. Don't be so serious. That's the message I'm getting.
Okay. Anything from, I guess, any deceased family members?
Say that one more time. Any family issues?
Any like messages? Anything from deceased family members?
Let's see. You got the Age of Light, which is you've been training for this for lifetimes, meaning that you have psychic abilities that you're able to connect to your team if you want to ask them directly. I'm being told to encourage you to consider doing some automatic writing to actually connect with your past loved ones, and really, like, it's an invitation to begin trusting your intuition.
Okay.
Right. So, Purvi, that's all I have for today. I hope that this was supportive to you. Thank you for calling in.
Thank you.
All right. All right. We are going to welcome our next caller. Hi, Gina. Calling from.
Hi, how are you?
I'm fantastic. Thank you for being here tonight. I'm super excited to have you. How are you?
Okay, how are you?
Good. So what can I do for you today? I am pulling from an oracle deck. So if you have a general message, or if there's someone that's passed away, I can do mediumship and connect. What would you like to do today?
Give me some kind of insight of what's going on in my life, please. I got a lot of depression and problems going on right now.
Okay. Let's see what the cards have to say. Did you recently move, or have you been thinking about it?
No, I haven't recently moved.
Have you thought about doing that?
I'm not in a financial situation at the moment to be able to do anything. So that's part of my problem.
Okay, so if money wasn't an option, would you be gone already?
Probably.
Okay, that's what I'm getting at. Thank you. Okay, so here's what I'm being told. I'm going to pull some cards, but what I'm being told to tell you is be clear on your why. Don't worry about the how. Yep, be clear on your why. Be very clear about why you want what you want. Don't worry about the how, and ask Spirit to help support you. Ask your team to come in and bring you all of the solutions to your issues and to help support you in whatever like desires that you have, destinations that you want to get to, places you want to be. But here are the cards that you have. So the first one, which is just perfect, you got the yes card. So that's just a solid yes. If you want to move, Gina, then start even create a vision board or do something that's going to help support you and putting the action in motion to get you in the desired space that you actually want to be in. The next card you have is boundaries. Where do you need to establish better boundaries? So I'm being told to tell you that no is a complete and full answer. You do not owe anyone an explanation. You don't have to explain yourself. It's not even your business what they think. So don't stress out about what they're saying, talking about, right? Also, you could create an affirmation that every time someone talks bad about you, you receive abundance tenfold or something to that effect. Because I'm hearing there's some naysayers. There's people that have a lot to talk about. Are there people chirping in your ear?
Okay.
Do you have people that are kind of chirping, saying things to you?
Not to me, but
Not
probably behind my back, yes.
Yep. So just hand all that back to them and don't worry about that. The next card that you have is the Great Gathering. It's all coming together, intuitive hits and soul tribe. The biggest message in this card for you, Gina, is to call in your soul family, to call in your tribe, call in the people that will support you. They will show up. If you ask Spirit to bring you the people that are here for you to support you on your journey, they will show up, I promise.
Okay.
Is that helpful?
Somewhat.
Do you have another question?
Yes. Any insight on my financial situation?
The message coming through is you have the power to change. You have the power to change that.
Okay.
Sisterhood of the Rose, beauty and devotion, priestess, mystic, and teacher. So who can you call on right now to support you as a mentor that will help you? I'm being told that you have your own intuitive gifts, but like a specific mentor is what you're being called to do, to find someone that will support you and making some decisions, really setting your clear boundaries, making your affirmations, and being clear on your desires so that you can actually manifest them.
Okay.
So seeking out a mentor or teacher is the message.
Okay. Is there anybody coming through that has passed on?
I don't have anyone coming in through specifically right now. Is there someone you want to connect with?
Either my mother or my sisters.
Your mother says she's always with you. She's singing the song Brown Eyed Girl. Let's see what she has to say. She says, I have a new understanding, meaning that she is absolutely, she's definitely one of your guides, and she's definitely around you all the time. She says, just call on me and I will support you. You just have to ask. She says that she's proud of you and not to worry about what anyone else says.
Okay.
And then the last card I have for you, this is from your mom. She says, I wish I had told you more often how much I love you. So do you ever see roses? I feel like she's going to show up as roses.
Okay.
So if you start seeing roses, that's her showing up. So, well, okay. Gina, I really appreciate you joining me today. Thank you for being here.
I really appreciate you. Thank you so very much.
You're welcome. Have a good night.
Thank you. Happy holidays.
Same to you. Bye-bye. All right. So here we go, guys. Thank you so much for the callers. Oh my gosh, I'm having so much fun. I hope that you guys are enjoying this as well. So I'm going to just go ahead and wrap things up for this evening and the show and tell you just a couple of things before we head out. So one thing that I like to do is I like to share when spirit be spiriting. So this is one of my favorite things to do, and I'll end each show with this. But sometimes we have these moments where the signs and synchronicities show up, and I call them when spirit be spiriting. So a couple days ago, I kept being really focused on my why. I kept seeing things around my why. I was in a meditation, and I saw people's whys coming up all over like a wall, and it was the coolest thing ever. And I kid you not, the very next thing I did when I got a deck of cards out and I pulled a card, I pulled the why card. I pulled the why card. So I like to call those moments when spirit be spiriting because they're extra validation, definitely synchronistic to let us know that we're on the right track. So if you have a when spirit be spiriting moment that you would like to share on the show, then please send your story to welcomeyourwoo@gmail.com. So you guys, that's a wrap for tonight's episode of Welcome Your Woo. I hope that you've had fun nestling in with me this evening, and I hope that you've got just enough to return for more next week, where I'll be diving into how self-care is a catalyst for expanding your intuition and psychic abilities. Oh, I cannot wait to talk to you about this. So until then, if you're looking for more clarity or spiritual guidance, you can book a personal session with me anytime at sarahjandpatton.com. I look forward to serving you and this growing audience. Don't forget to invite your friends. It's a lot more fun when you can explore together, right? And of course, if you want to stay connected, you can follow me on Facebook and Instagram for daily inspiration and updates. You guys, I'm on there all the time. And then, of course, I'll be here every Wednesday night at 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Central. So until then, make sure to remember to stay open, trust the journey, and as always, welcome your woo.
Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV, enlightening television. Welcome. Time for Soul Star Connections with Azriel. Live from Azriel.love. Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/psychic radio. Or one of our websites, askoneradio.com or moonstruck.tv. This is Soul Star Connection on A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
Hello, everybody, and namaste. Welcome. I hope you are having a beautiful day wherever you're at. My name is Azriel, and I'm coming to you live from Nashville, Tennessee, on a really beautiful and warm and cloudy day. But yeah, we had a week of a lot of cold last week, and the cold weather always sort of chills me to my core and allows a lot of stuff to move. And it really brings to mind, I think, which so many of us are going through at this time of year. I know it's a little bit different for those of you down in Australia. You're entering summer, but for us in the Northern Hemisphere, it's sort of this time, right, to go deep, to go inward, and to really see what's wanting to sort of arise. It's a time that on one level is filled with lots of joy and connection, or the potential for that as we gather for the holidays. And on another level, it's a time where sometimes a lot of stuff can come up to be moved, to be processed and to be presenced. And so just letting you know that if you're noticing perhaps deeper awarenesses coming up at this time of year, you're noticing different feelings, whether it be melancholy or grief or anger and frustration, that this is really normal and that you're not alone, right? Sort of like we don't get that vitamin D, the sunshine as much, we don't get as much light. And we're really being asked, right, to slow down. And now for a lot of us, we don't slow down. But when we do make that choice, or even just give ourselves permission to go over the dark a little bit more, oftentimes it can bring up like the stuff we've been holding on to and processing for the last 6 months of sunshine and summer. And so really wanting to let you know that it's really normal to feel these waves and to go into more of a hibernation state, and a state where things can be processed and presenced a little bit. I'm trying to think where I really wanted to start today other than that. Let's start with a short meditation. Again, I know those of you that are driving, you're not going to be able to close your eyes, but just follow along with your mind and know that you'll be tuning in with us. And then for those of you that are able to at home, I'm going to invite you to soften and settle into the body. One of the biggest things, actually two of the biggest things we can do is, number one, come into a space where we're actually in our bodies. And I always try to remind myself and my clients of that. And then the second thing that we can do is really open us up to deeper connection to what is true. And that truth is not our stories. It's not like the play that we're living in, right? Whether it's easy or challenging right now, it's that connection to nature, and it's that connection to consciousness. And so even tapping into that for a few moments can really, really open things up for us, and be that beacon of light that brings us closer to home and to contentment and center and connection. So let's take a moment and close our eyes if we're able to. Maybe bringing our hands down to the tops of our thighs, palms down, okay? Giving space for grounding and also connection into that physical realm, this physical body. And maybe taking a big breath in. And opening your mouth, and what are you ready to let go of right now? Just sigh it out. Let's do this 2 more times, just breathing in nice and big. Maybe even imagining that we're breathing all the way in from our root chakra up into the crown. And then what are you ready to let go of? Just exhaling, sighing out. And one last time, allowing the breath to come from the earth, to come from the roots beneath us. Breathing all the way in this beautiful grounded energy. Holding the breath for a moment. And then giving yourself permission to just let go. And then as you let go of that breath, imagine that you were sitting in a circle of light with 1,000 other beings, maybe 5,000 other beings, maybe more. And in this circle, and in the center of the circle of light, it is the most beautiful, beautiful, beautiful crystal that you could imagine. Shining and glowing bright. This amazing color of light. It might be white. It might be rose. It might be a different color that I haven't even mentioned. And notice that this crystal is moving in a circular direction in the center of the circle. And feel it pulsating with beauty and power and light, grounded expansion. And then take your palms and turn your palms so that they're facing upward. And imagine in your palms that there was the same color of light that this crystal was exuding. That it was connected. And then notice in your body, or notice in your energy field, in your emotional field, where you might be needing some healing right now, some balancing. And again, notice you're not the only one here. There's many other people in this circle with their own color and their own light connected to their own crystal. And yet that crystal is white, right in the center for us all. We're going to take 3 breaths now, and as you breathe in through the hands, breathe in the light of this crystal, breathe in the light of this color, and breathe it in through the cells, and the meridians, and the energy and the space of your body, and allow that energy to flow and to shine through all your cells. As you exhale, just let the light expand through you. We're going to do this 2 more times. Maybe noticing if there's areas of tenderness or of stickiness, and really allowing this colored light to flow there. And notice how things are changing within. 1 more breath. And then as you let the breath go, feel the radiance in your body. Feel the grounded joy and expansion. And take your left hand and just hold it out to your left. And take your right hand and hold it out to your right, palm down of the right hand. Okay. And imagine that you were connected in the circle with another beautiful, bright being next to you. Your right hand shining energy down, and your left hand receiving energy through this circle. And let's just take 1 more big breath of universal love. As you exhale, expand this light through the heart to the center of the circle, inviting it to open into the entire world. And then giving gratitude and thanks for this life, to all the beings meditating with us today, and to this beautiful moment. Feel free to open your eyes, or bring your hands back to your lap, and just take a few moments and allow yourself to be. So I invite you not to rush and to just allow yourself to notice what happens when we slow down and come into our body. What happens when we open to the fractal experience of light, and what happens when we open into greater and more expanded collective consciousness. It's that simple. Okay. Every month I offer a journey. The next one is January 8th at Wednesday at 4 p.m. Central Standard Time. And it's free for those of you who haven't joined before. And it's called The Gathering of Light. And we open into all these powerful things. So feel free to come next time. Find out more about it on my website, azrael.love, or my Facebook page, facebook.com/azrael.love. So let's open up into questions. I believe we have Danny in Edmonton, Canada on the phone, and I would love to connect. So whenever you're ready, Danny, it's lovely to meet you.
It's very lovely to meet you too. It was just exactly like the light and the love that I needed to hear today.
Oh, I'm so glad to hear that. Yeah, I feel like I needed it too. Yeah. So how can I support?
I'm an empath also, and I like my third eye is open too, but I'm not open to using my abilities to help people. So I really commend you for that, because it does take a lot of energy. And just learning little things like the breathing technique, and you got the rose color and the white color like spot on. That was exactly the colors I was thinking of.
Oh, I love that. Yeah. It's interesting, right? Because so much of what I do, like, it just comes through the collective, right? And I always trust it's what people need and what people needs, and I just sort of open to that flow. So
it's what they need to hear. Like, you're meant to be where you're needed.
Yes, exactly.
And
so
I've been struggling a lot lately with like my mental health. But the thing is, I'm writing a book right now, right? And to me, it's not only writer's block, but I have so much like going on in my head. Like, how do I quiet down I haven't really been into meditation, but it's a really bad writer's block. It's like where I want to get it out of my throat and into my pen. Sometimes I can go and sometimes I can go, and then sometimes I can't write for like a month. And I've had so much like hateful energy coming my way. And I'm learning myself how to just let it be, let it go. But how do I get this writer's block, like just like to pray to the souls that come before us to just give me a little bit of guidance into which direction I need to go, or should I go?
Yeah, I really hear you very much, Danny. A couple things come through for you, and yes, I'll just share, and then I might take a few minutes or moments and tune in silently and see what just comes through as I tune in a little bit more. So the number one thing is, collectively we are in such a pause. And I think with writing as it is anyways, right, there's that space where there are the writing blocks, or there's the moments when the energy just wants to flow. I'm laughing a little bit because I'm in the middle of writing a book right now. And And I'm like, well, if it's not moving, I can't do it, right? And so there's the days where it moves and the days when it doesn't. But as you said, this is like for longer, right? Like there's periods like a month or more where you're noticing the blocks or the lack of clarity. Even though it sounds like there's the clarity that there's things that you want to express and that are wanting to be expressed through you. And that brings to mind just some of what's going on in the collective, right? And this energy in the collective that really is at a standstill on some levels. Things are always moving, and yet it's sort of like we were in overdrive for a while. And the past couple of years, it's like, oh, that's not working the same way, or we're not able to have the direction or the clarity, I would say, even so. And I feel like it's part of like the collective rebirthing we're in. And so I think that's part of it. I think part of it is that as hard as it is, you're not supposed to have clarity right now. There's a sense of like the clarity is still coming into play. The exact path or the exact energy that wants to move through, it's sort of like not right timing for. And I'm speaking for this on a collective level more than just for you. I'm seeing it with many of my clients. I'm seeing it for myself, I'll be honest, in many ways. It's just we're in a reforming. It's almost like we're being forged right in the fire right now. And we're in the fire, which can feel really dark and heavy. As you said, the mental health, struggling with it a little bit because there's an emptying out. There's a scouring that's happening on a really, really deep level. Now, when I tune into you, and two of the things that came really clearly is, number one, is there's something really important and valuable about dropping down some roots, especially from that throat area, even from the third eye area. I feel your openness. I feel your expansiveness there. And some of what's being blocked, right, is in the throat and in the expression. And so it's and we'll do this together. I'm not gonna just tell you what to do. I'll walk you through a little something. Yeah. But we can try and drop this grounding cord down into the earth, maybe even into an area of your body first. We'll just see what happens. And then there's something about presencing and opening to the energy in the throat and even in the energy in the heart, right? And being able to presence on some level what's there, and then also open into a little bit of gentle purification. And today, because of our time, we won't work on any purification in the heart, but I feel like we will in the throat area. And so, let's start with that. And so then the other thing that just comes, I really want to tell you, this is more like a message for you. You're not doing anything wrong. You're not bad. And it's not you who's holding things up. It's not like you're being lazy, and you're not being, because that's how the mindset we can get in, right? I should be doing this better. I should be doing more. And your guides, higher self are saying, no, like you are doing great. And so any judgment, on the timing or the timeline, or that's coming from other people, it's like you are in alignment with your path and with the timing of it, and so just letting you know, like there's a lot of support, and in the guides and in the angels and in that realm for you. So, okay,
yeah, that's awesome. I was told rose quartz for the throat chakra. Is that correct? You were told what? I'm new to it, but rose quartz with, like, I'm not really into the crystal thing either. Right now, I'm just doing prayers to my guides and my ancestors and stuff. And I don't know, something's got to give. And I'm at this point now in my life where it's either going to change for the better or it's going to get worse. And I'm sick of the mundane life to life, not enjoying it anymore.
Yeah, so it is going to get better.
This is my book. It is. Yeah, I know. Eventually everything does. It's just this book that I'm really like, I'm not taking my time on it. And I feel like when I rush through it, it's just like now the sentences are making sense. That makes sense.
Yeah, so what comes to me around that, and again, rose quartz is fine for the throat chakra. We'll see what comes when we do this few minutes of energy work. I'll let you know if anything else comes. But I think even if you're rushing, like again, so even if you're rushing and you're getting it out on paper, it's like that's fine to do.
Yeah.
But to know that you might come back to it. You might come back and say, oh, that I don't need that. I don't need that, right? And so don't be attached to what actually comes out. One of the things, there is an ancestor that's very present with you. She's a grandmother, or she's in a grandmother lineage type ancestor. So I don't believe that she's your recent grandmother. She's way back, maybe 2-3 generations back. And in that, and in with her, she's there. She's got your back. I see her really holding the space for you. She's also sort of like holding a space to smudge the energy and to bring you gentle purification. And she's just asking you like to connect with her whenever you need to ground. And she's there to sort of help both connect you to spirit and bring you down to earth and down to the grounded earth. And so what I'd like to do, and what I do, I will just say, I think that I'm going to use the rest of the time for our call. I'd like to do that just so that any other callers, I would love to be with you next time, but I'm definitely not in the mood to rush right now. So what I'd like to do is just take a few minutes.
Okay.
I stalled there for a moment. I'd like to, can you hear me? I hear you. So I'd like to invite you just to take a moment and to bring your awareness to your breath. And don't worry about breathing deep. Don't worry about like having to have it be a certain way. Just bring your awareness to your breath.
Yep.
Okay, and take a moment and just start to notice if there's anywhere in your body that feels safe or like home. And don't worry if there's no place. Just let me know if there's a place in your body that says,
or home.
Yeah.
I just feel it as like a place.
Okay, a place.
Like right now, I don't feel at home at all.
Yeah, perfect. And so what I'd like you to do is to bring your awareness to the area in the center of your chest. And it can be the area of your heart center, or it can be up a little higher between the heart and the throat. It doesn't matter, just wherever you can go. And I'd like you to imagine in this area in the center of your chest, I'd like you to imagine, we're going to go with that color rose, okay? Because that came up for you earlier.
Yeah.
And I'd like you to imagine a rose crystal or a rose heart, anything at all, just anything that feels stable. Okay?
Yeah.
And I'd like you to imagine a beautiful string or a rope connected to this beautiful rose in the center of your chest. And I'd like you to drop this string down to your belly. Just imagine, it doesn't have to connect to anything there. Just imagine it flowing down to the belly. And now imagine it flowing all the way down through your legs, all the way down to the center of the earth. And if the center of the earth feels too far, even 10 feet down to the earth is great. Now I'd like you to breathe up this string that's down in the earth. Maybe you could tie it to a tree root down there.
The string from my heart to a tree root.
Yeah.
Yep. And just to ground myself better.
Yeah, just to ground yourself better. And don't worry if you don't feel more grounded yet. Now I'd like you to breathe up the string into your heart. 3 breaths. And as you exhale, I'd like you to imagine rose flowing out the center of your heart. And this might sound weird, but I'd like you to call in on the energy of deer, like a deer, like a elk. I get deer more than elk, but like a deer. Breathing in the gentleness of the deer. Breathing in
a gentle.
Yeah, I know it sounds a little weird, but there's deer energy around you.
No, it's okay.
And then breathing that pink energy out through your heart. And one more time. And then I'd like you to
take on my maternal side.
Oh, yeah. Now I'm seeing eagle energy. So for the next 3 breaths, I'd like you to breathe all the way up, this time to the throat. And as you exhale, breathing out the blue, color blue through your throat and calling on in the energy of an eagle, the wisdom of the eagle. And 3 times. Yeah. And blue, if you can imagine blue moving through your throat. And your third eye feels very open and activated. And we've only got about a minute left.
That's actually the name of the book that I dreamed of. Blue Eagle Connections.
Oh, really?
I'm not even joking. That's the name of the book I dreamt of.
I believe you. Now I've one more thing we're gonna do, and then I'm gonna have to close just because my show is over, or will be over. But I would like you to tap into either your heart and throat, and just ask for a message right now that will give you support. Word, a symbol, anything at all. And don't worry if nothing comes. Mm-hmm.
Like I said, I'm getting chills on my left side of my body, just the left side.
Yeah, so just allow that. What I would recommend is I would invite you to do these 3 breaths, to imagine dropping a cord down once a day, and then 3 breaths into the heart with the energy of the deer, and then 3 breaths into the throat, breathing out through the throat with the energy of an eagle. And blue, pink and blue. And if any questions come, just feel free to find me on my Facebook page. It's facebook.com/Azriel.love. It's beautiful to connect with you, Danny. It feels like it was really meant to be. And I'm sending you so much love. I do have to say goodbye now. I want to thank you, and I want to thank everybody for listening. So powerful to share. And remember, we're not alone. We're all in this together, and we're all moving through this huge transformation. And it's not always easy. So sending you so much love, and wishing you the most beautiful day. Namaste.
A1R Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV and Lightning Television. Welcome. Time for Bernice Bisson, Psychic Media. Bernice Bisson, live for BerniceBissonPsychic.com. Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/Psychic Radio. Or one of our websites, askoneradio.com or moonstruck.tv. This is Bernice Bisson, Psychic Media on A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
Welcome to Psychic Tuesday, and I'm your guide, Bernice Bisson. We're going to get started with sun, moon, or rising, all the signs and messages for each of the signs. And I just want to say I'm happy to be back home in Winnipeg. I was in the beautiful Hawaii for the last 2 weeks as a lifetime dream bucket list vacation. And I just wanted to say they treated me well, and I absolutely fell in love with Hawaii. And now I'm back to the snow in the winter in beautiful Winnipeg. So welcome home. But let's get started. Okay, let's start with our Aries. Sun, moon, rising messages for Aries. Don't make enemies where you don't need to. Tread lightly in some conversations. We do have that Mercury retrograde energy and a few other planets also going direct. Saturn being one of them, reiterating structures, Neptune being another, old illusions coming forward. Check any biases you could have over the next 7 to 10 days. Do your research if you're going to prove a point or a fact, make sure it is researched. I feel like repetition right now could be your friend. Going over old details kind of over and over again, going over things in great detail could be your friend. And then you can mobilize. And as we get more into the third week in January, that January energy after the 18th, you're able to really move forward and mobilize. So this is the time to play devil's advocate, double check your facts, figures, details, anything you're going to find any abnormalities. Don't see them as hindrances, see them as gifts so that you don't get, hit with them later. So I feel like you could have a lot of that sort of overshadowing information this next week, foreshadowing. Like if it's like, you need new passwords for this and new things for that, just do it because I feel like it'll save you lots of time later, Aries. Tauruses, our little Tauruses, sun, moon, rising. This is a time of resurgent, a time to be willing to go on, even when sometimes things feel difficult, they feel challenging. This is a time where you're going to dig deep into your well of reserves, abandon things that don't serve you, that don't pay you, that don't feed you, or don't be nice to you. Abandon them. You don't need them. If they're sucking up your energy. Check where your remorse is coming from. Is it coming out of guilt? Are you feeling guilty and then getting conned into having to do things because you feel guilty? Don't do that, Tauruses, over the next 7 to 10 days. Be willing to cooperate, but know where your boundaries are and stick firm to them. You could be changing old heartaches, addressing heartache, things that have kind of hurt you. And you could be knowing that you're going to dig deep in your resolve, in your reserves, and you're going to keep going. That all of this will dissipate over the next few weeks. You're just being shown the areas you need to shore up in terms of who's taking your energy. And all of these moments are teaching moments. They're learning moments. You could be the teacher, you could be the student. And they're teachable moments for you, but they're big, powerful moments to move you forward. And so this retrograde energy in Mercury, and as we have 2 other planets going direct, so we have sort of like, 2 different directions. And here we are sort of in the apex of it, right in the middle. And this is a time to assess what you have, who's helping you, who's hindering you, and who to let go and what to engage in. So it's going to be really powerful for you, Tauruses. All heading us into the Aquarian time, that third week going forward in January. So then we go to Gemini, sun, moon, rising. Hello, Geminis. Boy, oh boy, You have, Jupiter's been retrograde, going over old ground. As it goes direct, you're going to have new opportunities, new things coming forward at you, new directions, opportunities, options, things that you can entertain. Again, we're looking more towards the end of January, but the next 7 to 10 days, this is about doing your homework about what is it that you really want. You might have to concede on some things. You might have to do some concessions in some things. Acting on a whim might not serve you. Things could be feeling like it's at a whim, like you're sort of at the whim of people's opinions, people's ideas, and that you might even be trying to encompass everyone's ideas, trying to bring everybody together to a similar notion. And places where you might have to also look at where you have to keep secrets, where you have to hold on to private information. Not everybody in those circles or that you're trying to bring together needs all the information. You might have to be very discerning about what you're sharing. And this is a time of maybe liquidity where things you're going to maybe line up getting money moving, getting financial documents, money processes, court processes or legal processes moving. But in order to get them moving, there has to be a bit of due diligence around the details and having to make concessions, whether they're visible or invisible, whether they're and where you need to become involved and where you don't need to become involved. I feel like this is a time where you want to be more of the puppet master than dancing with the puppets. I feel like this is the time to pull back and really look at each decision you're making, what impact they have on you, around you, and are they serving you or are you serving the opinions of others? Okay. My little crabs, Cancerians, this is a time that you might be feeling like you're standing like at the edge of the abyss and you have all this empty space, all these options, all these things in front of you, and you're not sure maybe where to move forward. And it could be blinding your vision a little bit, or you could feel like it's too dark to kind of move forward. This is a time for you to stay still, breathe in that energy to really assess slowly and surely and methodically how you can move forward. And boy, little crabs, they sure don't like to slow down. If you've ever seen a crab on a rock on the side of the ocean, all you got to do is look at it and it runs away like super fast. And so this is a time where you have to kind of hang on to the rock, crab, hang on to the rock, don't move. Let your dreams, your vision, your notions, daydreams, let them guide you. Let yourself fall into the rabbit hole a little bit. You are freeing yourself. This is about your liberty, your ability to move forward in some way. This could be career obligations you've had, family obligations, or romantic obligations that you're finding that you're feeling freer, you're making different decisions that could do well for you. I feel like the dreams and how to achieve it, this is about facilitating your dreams. You'll dream it, you'll do it. You'll see it, you'll vision it, you'll want to create it or enact it. And I feel like reach out to people around you. Don't hesitate. I feel like you could have other people who could help you make the decision, help you see pathways, help you interpret your dreams, help you see them in a different way. Know that you have lots of creative strength right now, lots of creative ability, illuminated genius in a sense, shining light on talents, or you really drawing in your well of talents, because a crab will always say, I'm not creative. And they are. They're very talented in something. They could be very domestic. They could be very good at cooking or carpentry or calligraphy or something that they're going to be able to draw on that genius and know how to present it, or being given a choice now to incorporate it in some way in your world. So that feels really exciting. And then you could have reassignments coming with work based on your talents or your genius or your ideas. You can have reassignments in your career, your community, your work, your projects. Okay, little crabbies? All right. Leo, sun, moon, rising. Oh my gosh, Leo, you've got Mars retrograde in your sign, going over old details. Then to go back into your 12th house of little crab, and then moving back forward to the little details. So you could feel like you got a lot done, and then everything on hold. And then it moves forward fast again. Again, that time of Aquarius, very focused on commitments and partnerships. After that turnover, 18th, 19th, 20th, 21st, 22nd of January, as we head into Aquarius, we feel that shift of power with Pluto, the sun joining it, Mercury, all this energy joining in that Aquarian, beautiful Aquarian energy. And that's in your house of partnership and commitments. And so, Leo, what you've had lots of activity in and then suddenly stalled over the holidays will pick up speed again at the third week in January. And this is all around things you've committed to: people, jobs, mortgages, financing, things that you could start to look at redoing, reorganizing, revamping. And it could come in because of partner, lack of partner, thought of partner, or partnerships that present themselves to you in business and in your personal life. And so this is a big deal there, Leos. And you could find yourself having made fast and swift decisions about properties, partners, and then you could have sudden shifts in new opportunities presenting themselves in the new year. And it could be things that you kind of delge back into the past and pull forward again, like, oh, years ago, I wanted to live there. Years ago, I wanted this in my life. Years ago, I was in this place in my life. And you might find that you are able to now act on some of those things in this next year coming up. So that feels really good there, Leo. Virgo, sun, moon, rising. Oh, my little Virgs. All right. Creation, opportunities, introductions, your reputation, looking good out there, Virgo. You might find that with these planets going direct in Pisces, that old relationships, old things coming up, old issues coming up with partnerships, and that could be within yourself. And you could be looking at addressing, doing therapy, looking at what's going on for you in your own world, around your own healing, health, and your wealth, your finance. And really looking at where, and have patience with some of this, because I feel like you want fast movement, but this is really requiring you to slow down, to finish, to deepen, to commit to. And this next 7 to 10 days will definitely give you a taste of what is definitely going to be moving forward in bigger ways for you at the end of January, going right to your birthday. And especially in Pisces season, which is another conversation for another show. Libra, sun, moon, rising. Libra, excitement, revolution, reconstruction. This is a time of vast changes going on around your work environment, your social environment, your community environment. Might feel like a bit of a whirlwind of activities and people around you. And this is the time to refuse to be part of conversations or processes or backstabbing, back-talking, gossiping, idle waste of just talking crap. Don't get into it. Don't get your energy pulled into conversations that don't need your intervention at all. And because you might even find that you could even see karma being served to people that deserve karma a little bit. And you're sitting back gleefully going, oh, well, look at that. Look what's going on for them. Too bad they effed me over earlier. And you could be finding that this is a time where you're ordering a lot of stuff. You could be getting things in order, getting papers in order, ordering supplies, ordering things that you've been needing, putting orders in place. So getting methodical and getting the details done over the next 7 to 10 days. Scorpio, sun, moon, rising. Oh, my little Scorpios, this is a time of pliability. Now, you're a fixed sign, so both your ruling planets are doing some funny things right now. Your Pluto revolutionary, really bringing you into new spaces, new social circles, new friends, new health regimes, and new financial goals. And be pliable, be flexible. Know that you're trying to manifest your full potential. You can't be too fixed in this. That don't get complacent or don't get too fixed. Being uncomfortable might be okay for you to really get you moving on things. And that you might find your skills of prophecy, your skills of insight, intuition is like stellar. And you could be you could have a strong impression on people, lots of charisma, carry a light stick. You could be taking up a lot of oxygen in the room. And you are getting approval for things you've been working on, things you've had in mind. You could get the go-ahead, the green lights. You can get rock star parking. It's all these kind of fun things for you guys over the next 7 to 10 days. Sagittarian, sun, moon, rising. Surprises. Oh my gosh, there could be sudden surprises in cash flow, sudden surprises in visitors. You could have sudden surprises in and royalties, or sudden surprises in just the job you wanted coming up for you. And I feel like you have to adhere to speed limits. You have to adhere to limitations, structures, limitations of coworkers. You have to adhere to the structures a little bit right now, which is not really your norm. You like to test the structures or try them in different ways. This is a time, because I feel like your goal right now isn't to spin your wheels, it's to find contentment, to find safe haven, to find some time to concentrate on hobbies, efforts, personal goals or endeavors, and your fitness in that, and to see some progress with it, as opposed to that wheel spinning you might have been feeling the last few months. Capricorn, sun, moon, rising, boy, oh boy, Pluto's left your sign. That's some big stuff for you. Might be feeling the weight of that. And this is going to be a really good time for you, festivity. You could be going into your birthday season at the end of December, really looking forward to your birthday, looking forward to celebrations. You could be realizing that you suddenly have the advantage in certain areas of your life, in conversations and power struggles and work dynamics. Your goal is your happiness. Your goal is, I want to be happy, and I'm making this a priority of mine, and I'm going to see evidence of it, and you will see evidence. And things that you find that the goodwill you've put out there is going to come back at you in relevant ways, like your name was put forward for something. Hey, they suggested to go see you. You could get good referrals. You could be viewed upon as the expert in your field. You could be tapped on the shoulder. Some good stuff for you, Capricorns. Just be careful not to be a bit of a dick. Don't let it get to your head or your ego, and don't become impatient with people. Other than that, looks like it's pretty shiny for you guys. Aquarian, sun, moon, rising, getting your mind back, getting your focus back, getting your energy back. You're in the 12th house now, so this is really, as you go into later into December. But as we get to January 18th, this is your time to come alive, to shine. You could be thinking about future journeys, travel. You could be fantasizing about travel, looking at distant places and distant lands. I feel like this is the time where you're ready to revolutionize your life. You're like, that's it. I'm sick of this stuff and I need a change. I need things to change in my life. And you're really in a place where you have the willpower, the means, the ability, that strength to really go forward with things. You can annihilate tasks. You can really get through a lot of stuff. And I feel like this is your time of the under pressure, shining like a diamond. You could be looking for thrills, new excitement, new endeavors, things that new entertainment purposes. And I feel like you'd want to bust out of the ordinary. So this is a bit of revolutionary time for you. And I feel like it pays off. You could have some brilliant thoughts, genius insight, new options or opportunities that come to you because you thought of things a little differently. You went outside the box. Finally, Pisces, sun, moon, rising, Pisces. I know it's been, I'm a bit out of practice talking so fast because I'm going to run into time in my show and I want to finish 12 signs. So Pisces, this is going to be a time where don't let your fear keep you behind. You're going to have 2 planets now moving direct in your sign structures, and with Neptune really helping you see clearly the paths that weren't serving you, people that weren't serving you. You really standing in your own power and saying, this is what I need. This is my boundaries. This is what I'm defining. I feel like you could be very emotional. You could really feel those feels, channel them into creative efforts, spiritual efforts, even doing some past life regression, hypnosis, looking at your psyche, psychedelic therapy, therapeutic, really paying off for you, addressing old fears, addressing things that you felt turned away from before, won't be turning you away. You could be dealing with a lot of father and divine masculine wounds and really standing in that divine masculine power. That's that Saturn energy, really holding you to account to structures and really standing up for yourself in those structures and finding power there. Brilliant stuff for you. All right, thank you. You can find me at bernicebissotpsychic.com. And let's get to a reading. We have Lisa in San Jose, California. Lisa.
Hi there.
Hello, lovely Lisa. My name is Bernice. I'm a psychic in Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada. I'm here to be of service to you, and I have a few minutes. How can I be of service to you today?
Hi, Bernice. I just want a little bit insight on what's going on or going to happen with my marriage.
Let's take an insight to what is going to happen with your marriage. And I want you just to bring that relationship to mind, in your mind, and just hold presence for it. I want you just to hold space, and I'm going to kind of tune into you a little bit. Okay. I feel like there is, at the moment, there is 2 different directions, and I feel like the 2 of you could have fallen out of orbit, meaning that you're trying to maybe pull things back into orbit. Maybe there's a desire to see where things are at. Maybe priorities have shifted to places that have made you feel maybe a bit less of a focus, less important, and you're going to have to focus that energy on yourself. I feel like one of my bigger messages to you around this idea right now is you have to love yourself, because you might be trying to put that with your partner and they can't reciprocate for some reason, because there's something very much about, because I keep hearing the word feeling inadequacies, and you're not. I feel like you might be seeing through a different lens of the marriage. Now, may I ask, if you don't mind me asking, what is the day and month of your birthday?
February 1777.
Oh, Aquarius. Okay, just the day month. What is the day and month of the partner's birthday?
10/12.
I'm saying 7/12. Is that what I heard?
October 12th.
Oh, October 12th. Sorry, my bad. So you're both earth sign energy. Okay, so I feel like you need to get on the same page about the priorities in the relationship. That communication over the last maybe 8 weeks, 8 days, 8 months, I feel like you're on different platforms, you're on different formats of the communication. I feel like the both of you might need to get away from family a little bit, pull more insular. And I feel like, I keep getting the birth of, like, for instance, where there's endings, there's the birth of. So in your partner's family, in that family energy, I feel like where there's been endings, there seems to be some new beginnings. That could be the birth of a child, the birth of new things, something new coming for them. Their energy could be very much tied up in some way there. I feel like there's a few, and I mean everything I say with love, there's a few knives in the back. And I feel like you might have to stand up, Aquarian. You might have to say, hey, this hurts my feelings. Hey, I don't feel considered. Hey, I don't feel seen. And I feel like, and I'm going to say this, please don't hate me, but I'm going to go there. You might wind up with an option around relationships, and you might feel tested in the current situation. And as you're sort of feeling tested or not seen in some way, that someone else pops up. You don't have to look for anybody, but that treats you or talks to you or triggers you in a way that you might start questioning, what am I doing in this relationship? Is this the right relationship for me? Where is this going? Now, can the current relationship you're in be worked on? Yes, but I feel like if the goal is to work on it, the two of you might not be on the same goal. Like, you would have to actually do some work within this relationship to be on the same page.
Okay.
Just to make sure that, because I feel like you're not going to be heard, Aquarian, and that Libra could get very wrapped up in things going on in their life, and that they could put that as a priority over you. Just so you know.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. And I don't think I'm talking about I love you, I don't love you. I don't think that's the conversation. I feel like it feels, and I mean this with love, it could feel a little empty, and that things aren't in the same page. Things are sort of, and I feel like, can it turn around? Yes. Can you work on this marriage? Yes. Yes, both of you can. As long as I feel like both of you are invested in working on the marriage. Whereas I would almost hope that maybe Libra doesn't just pacify you.
Yeah.
Okay. There is something that, can I ask you, did you make alternate plans at Thanksgiving or something like than you normally make?
No.
I don't know if I'm asking the right question. Sorry.
I'm sorry? What was that?
I wasn't sure if I meant, so what I mean, I think what I'm asking is, because I asked if you made alternative plans together. Do you guys normally have your family or something at Thanksgiving?
Yes, we do.
Yeah, and you might wind up having alternative plans to spend time together, focus on together, focus on coming back together. And I mean in deeper ways, building intimacy. You might even need to touch them when you talk to them, so they hear you, so they're present.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think he's hearing me.
I'm sorry, say that again?
I don't think that he's hearing me.
He's not hearing you. That's kind of what I'm saying. That you're not being seen or heard. And sometimes, like, I feel like that Libra energy, maybe he doesn't even know what you mean. Like,
okay.
What do you mean? I'm here. What do you mean? So I feel like if I were to say, touch him when you talk to him, like hold his arm and say, hey, honey, can you take out the garbage? Sounds different than wah, 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 right? Like talking at him.
Yeah.
Also, finding alternative plans to the greater family where you have just your little family. You have just you guys, just you.
Okay.
And make a tradition in some way that's just you guys. Like, for instance, something romantic, like, ooh, let's do something different. We're just going to order Chinese food and stay in bed all day and cuddle, you know?
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Okay. The other thing around, because there's a lack of communication, and I feel like if you said, oh, let's go to therapy, they would go, but I don't know that you're actually working on things. I feel like they might say, well, there's nothing wrong. I don't know what you're talking about. So
exactly.
And that's okay. I also feel like you need to play. Can you play together? What do you play together? Play. A very brilliant guru once said to me, he said, the pathway to joy is play. Okay. And together, what is it that you play together? It could be cards. It could be, we have our Saturdays at the market. I want you to create a sanctuary around this relationship with them that you value it, because you might feel they're not communicating, but I also feel like there's a lot of other priorities or demands on it that kind of kills the intimacy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Now I have about 60 seconds, as my producer lets me know, and I'm going to just say this to you. I want you to also practice some of the old romantic things, like when's the last time you wrote a love letter? Just saying, I love that stuff. Libras like to be chased and romanced a little bit. They do.
Okay.
They're telling you, Aquarian, you're very inventive and you're very thoughtful. You're very thoughtful. And I want you to pour that energy on your partner, because I feel like this can be worked on. And I feel like it's not just direct, let's just do therapy. I think there's lots of other intimate ways you can do this. Okay?
Okay.
Okay. Thank you. And thank you for finding me on A1R Psychic Radio and Moonstruck Television. My name is Bernice Bisson, and you can find me at bernicebissonpsychic.com. I'll see everybody in 7 days.
Psychic Radio. Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV, enlightening television. Welcome. Time for Infinite Soul Connections with Shelley Devine. The Hummingbird Media. Live from InfiniteSoulReadings.com. Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/psychic radio. Or one of our websites, askoneradio.com or moonstruck.tv. This is Infinite Soul Connect on A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
Hello, everybody. It's Shelley again with Infinite Soul Connections. I'm so excited to be here. I would like to talk about my book real quick and then hopefully get a caller. So I have a book. It's called Beyond the Ordinary. Okay, and it went to #1 on Amazon. It was written by my creative genius mentor, Mandy Nicholson, and she had 30 of us women write a chapter in her book. So I have written a chapter in this book. Okay, and this book is to discover the power of the creative and neurodiverse women. Okay, my story in here is called Is My Heart Still Beating? And it is about the loss of my best friend, my cousin, and my horse, all within weeks of each other. And it's about how I made it through that and came out the other end. And still, I'm still here. That was tough. So I just want to talk about, when we lose loved ones, you guys know they are all still with us. So if there's a caller that would like to call in, get a reading, I can do a card reading, or I can do a mediumship reading, whatever you prefer. So let's see if I have a caller. Because if not, I'll just keep talking. Okay. So another message that I wanted to share is that I know right now the holiday season can be a little bit tough with family relations. Some of it can be a little uncomfortable. And so I got a message from the higher realms this morning that I want to share. And it says, stay true. Hold on to love and peace. Don't let go. When emotions and situations come from blocks or challenges, keep your loved ones close. Let go of the blocks and the patterns and the thoughts that no longer serve you. Sit back, watch, and observe. Take a deep breath. And then let go of whatever is holding you back. Do this inner work before you get together with your family and friends this holiday season. And be grateful and have big love and blessings for all of you and your family. It's so awesome, these holiday seasons, but they can be tough on some people. Okay? So doesn't seem like I'm getting a caller just yet, which is fine. I'm going to read something from my other book, which is Artful Affirmations. This was a channeled message, and it's about forgiveness. Your soul desires peace and joy. When you harbor unhealthy thoughts or feelings that you feel was caused by someone else, you aren't whole. The feelings and embarrassments or frustrations can affect your physical body in a negative way. One thing you must remember is that people around us cannot make us feel a certain way. Okay? I do have a caller, and I am glad to welcome this caller in. Hello, Chris, are you there?
Good afternoon. I am. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good.
Wonderful. What can I do for you today? What would be helpful for you?
Probably guidance. Just we're kind of in a time of where we need to make a move and we need direction. And had some health issues, working on trying to recover. So just a couple of things to make my life better.
All right, let me just settle in here and see. So for the move, I feel like, have you made the decision?
We've made the decision to move. We just haven't made the decision as to exactly where we're going.
Okay. The decision to move feels very correct for me. I'm getting goosebumps, which is affirmation that that's the right thing to do. Now, let's see if we can figure out what kind of energies surround this move might be able to help us figure out. Okay. All right. Okay, so the card that jumped out for you, there's actually a few.
Of course.
The first card is feeling the world, right? And that's what we're doing. We're trying to feel out where in this beautiful world that you are best to move to. Okay. Is there a place that you have in mind, a place that perhaps you've always wanted to go and perhaps, made some wishes on wishing that I could be there?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Definitely, because I got wish upon a star. So I'm feeling that it's headed in that direction. That you will eventually get there. I don't know if it's exactly this very move, but I feel like it's a move towards the right direction.
That's how I feel. That is confirmation for me.
Yeah. Okay, perfect. I also pulled a card called the Healing Heart. So you asked about your health and you asked about healing. This is healing something in your heart, in your soul. Does that make sense to you? Do you feel like there's parts of you that are, I don't want to say broken, but, maybe a little broken?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And it's your soul. That's your heart center. That needs healing first. Okay. If you can get that under control and healed, and actually I'm going to send you a little bit of healing in a second here, then the other medical issues, the health or whatever, is going to be easier to handle and to, push through and persevere. Okay. So if you give me 1 second, I'm going to send you some healing in that heart space.
Oh, thank you. I feel it.
Oh, good. Just let it in. Picture your heart chakra green, emerald green. Sometimes it's pink because that's the sign of love, but it's emerald green. And I want you to visualize that chakra getting more and more just beautiful emerald color, and it's just going to expand out. That's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing just this beautiful emerald, and that's the healing, and I'm sending that.
Thank you.
Okay.
I can feel it in my heart.
Good.
I can feel my heart. Yes. Yes.
That's wonderful.
Very nice.
Okay. Let's see. So another card I pulled, which is funny. I love this one so much because it's called the Oracle's Gift. And I seem to pull it every single time I do a reading because I feel like I'm the Oracle and I'm giving you this gift. I'm giving you this gift of healing, of love, of confirmation, of peacefulness. Ooh, yes, and just relaxing, releasing energy. Because there's something that has been holding you back. There's something that we're healing in your heart space. And I want you to let go of whatever that is. Whatever no longer serves you, let that go. Okay? All right, I would like to pull an animal spirit card for you. Is that okay?
Absolutely.
Okay. Just to see what kind of animal energy you have around you, or you need, or you are. I'll know it once it comes off. Okay. A couple of minutes. Oh, we got to wait for there we go. She jumped right out. Okay. So the animal energy that you have is the tiger.
Wow.
And tiger it represents fire, like a fire in you. This is what it says. I choose to be unstoppable. Ooh, I got goosebumps everywhere. My passion is my power. I am bold. I am brave. Mighty forces come to my aid. That's you.
I believe that.
I can feel it.
I've been divinely guided for years, so this is just exactly what I needed to hear and feel.
Perfect. Wonderful. Do you have any other questions? I think we probably have like a minute left. Do you have a question?
So, abundance. I feel like something wonderful financially is going to happen, and I'm just kind of wondering if that's really what I'm feeling.
Yes. Yeah. Do you ever see the number 555?
Oh, yeah.
That's big things coming. Okay. So if you're seeing that number, and if you start to see it more, that's big things coming. And just remember that you have an abundance. We all have an abundance. It's there. It's available. We just have to let it in and trust. Okay. So trust that the money is going to come, that energy of the money and the energy of abundance is coming straight to you. And pay attention to those angel numbers. Okay?
Yes. Okay. Thank you so much.
You're so welcome. Bye-bye, hon.
To A1R Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV, Enlightening Television. Welcome. Time for Mystic Nick with Mystic Nick. Live from lightheartedmassage.com.au. Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London,